In this tutorial, I'll discuss the dashboard and the different pieces of information that the dashboard provides the user. And we shan't go into great depth here, as we'll save that for the talks related to the different strategies that you can use with the indicator. But I'll just kind of walk through each area of the indicator that's visible in the dashboard, and then we can kind of use that to build on later. But once you enable the dashboard, as you can see here, the first line of the dashboard is simply show the name of the indicator along with the current version. Just below that, you will see the range indicator. And what this does, it will give us three pieces of data. The first being an average of the previous X number of days, which in this case is the previous 5 days range added together divided by 5 gives us 86. So we have 86 pips is kind of the average daily range for the pound at the moment, which is actually quite low. The next piece of data is how far the currency pair has moved today. So we can see that it's moved 70 pips so far today. And the last piece of data is simply tells us what 20% of the average is, which is 17 pips here. And this percentage is useful with respect to the targets and stops and things like this. Moving on, we go a little low, and we can see that we have some arrows, some red arrows here, and some clocks. And these arrows pointing at different angles, clock angles. Ultimately, this indicator tells us the direction of the market based on the color. Out of the box, the indicator tells us when the market is bearish with red colored arrows, and if the market is bullish, the arrows will be green. When we have an arrow at the angle that we can see on the 5-minute chart here, we can see that it's not pointing to 6 o'clock like it is on the daily chart, but it's pointing at kind of maybe 4:30 or so, and this is telling us that we're in kind of not a very strong downtrend, but we're still experiencing lower lows and lower highs. On the 15-minute chart, we can see we have a clock, and this clock is just telling us that the market is in the process of changing between two states, either a strong downtrend to a downtrend, or a strong uptrend to an uptrend. And while the market is in a state of changing, or in the process of changing, the indicator will kind of stand on the sidelines and waits. And when this is the case, it will draw a clock, as you can see here. On the 1-hour chart, we can see that we have a red arrow that's pointing to the side. And this is kind of an indication of we have a bearish market, again, judging by the color of the arrow, but price is moving sideways. So price is it's slowly drifting lower, but it's still going sideways. So now we have kind of a bearish bias to a sideways drifting market. Again, on the 4-hour chart, we can see that we're in the process of changing between two states. On the daily chart, prices are bombing lower. Right, if we have a look at the settings that relate to this, the dashboard here, we can see, if you wish to change the color of the dashboard, if you like black, for example, black backgrounds, and you can change them to some other color, as you can see here. And this is kind of nice. A lot of people like dark colored charts, so you can just change that there like that. Let's see, here we can see a monthly range period. So what this tells us here is that when we calculate averages for monthly bars, I like to use 12 bars. So we say that there are 12 months in a year, so I like to use a year's data to calculate an average here. Some people might think this is too much. Some people might think this is too less, but this is kind of up to the trader to make this decision. But default it's 12, but you can feel free to change this to whatever you like. The next setting we have the weekly range periods average, which is 4, because there are 4 weeks to a month. So I put this to 4. You can again change to whatever you like, whatever you're used to. And on the daily range periods average, I have 5 because there are 5 days in a week. And just below that, we have the range movement percentage. yeah, which you can change to whatever you like. If you change it to 15, for example, and you can see it changes here automatically to 15, and that'll calculate the difference here. If we have a quick look at the mode setting for this indicator, default it's set to 2, and 2 is day trading mode. But if you're a scalper, you would like some information a little bit quicker, then you simply change this to 3. Press OK, and it goes to scalp mode. And you can see that the time frames shifted one time frame to the left. And so now the highest time frame is 4 hour, and the lowest is the 1 minute chart here. You can also see that changes have been reflected in the range indicator as well, where now the range information is based on the 4 hour chart instead. You can do the same here. If you're a position trader, you simply put this to 0. Press OK. And now range information is based on monthly bars or monthly price movement. And here we can see that the time frames has been shifted a few to the right. So here we can see on the monthly chart we have a very strong downtrend, weekly chart, strong downtrend, daily chart, strong downtrend. On the 4 hour chart, we're kind of waiting to see what happens, perhaps in a corrective move lower. And on the 1 hour chart, we can actually see this corrective move lower, judging by the red arrow that is pointing up. Again, as I mentioned earlier, this is telling us that the red color is telling us that the market is bearish. The arrow pointing up is telling us that the price is moving higher. So we can see here price is moving lower here. We have lower highs and lower lows. You can see the price is kind of stalling here and perhaps will move up before it continues down. So that's what this is telling us here, which is quite handy, I think. Yeah, that's kind of about it for this particular part of this tutorial. I'll be making about 7 or 8 or perhaps even 9 tutorials, and I'll break up the functionality and discuss one piece of functionality per tutorial, just to kind of separate it a little bit and make it a little bit more kind of user-friendly, easier to absorb. But yeah, that was it. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.